Alright everybody, this is Mithril, back with another Fallout New Vegas video. As you can see, last time we came here to the big mountain, I was going to call it the Big Empty, and basically talked to them. That took forever. Went and got the antenna from over there, went right over there and got like documents or something, went over there, got a nice stealth suit, and now I believe we have to go to the Forbidden Zone. Right over there. So let's get to it. If you guys didn't come to the premiere, or maybe haven't seen the video yet, go check it out. Make sure to leave a like, maybe even comment. Perhaps even subscribe. That scared. That actually scared me. Holy heck. Nope, wrong gun. Whew. That actually got me. Whew. Do I have the radio on? Why is that on? Get that off. And whew. What a way to start. Yeah, those are the lobotomites. And they actually hit you pretty hard. Like, I'm wearing some decent armor. Maybe not the headpiece, but you know, the Enclave armor is nothing to scoff at. And I have perks like toughness and stuff. They put you through the ringer. I was gonna call it the winger. They put you through the winger. If you're not careful, they'll beat you down. Another thing, if I sound different or something, it's because I moved my mic spot. So hopefully it doesn't sound too bad. Don't die. Yeah, this is another thing I found out. They appear. These guys are pretty tough too. Yeah, but that's the thing I found out in the Honest Hearts DLCs. Enemies just randomly like to appear. And those things keep exploding. But yeah, that's the bad guy. Dr. MOBIUS, as he likes to call himself. And then the so-called geniuses at the think tank, you know what they did? Not only did they take out my brain, they took out my heart and my spine. Do you guys believe that? If you guys are wondering what weapon I'm using, this is the Survivalist rifle from Honest Hearts. There is a short on my channel. Do you want to know where to get it? Am I crouching? Now I'm crouching. Why do I feel so small? Why is this door so huge? It's like, why do I feel small? It's because I am small. Okay. Not gonna give me any health values. Wow, 1500, huh? Nope, that's not what I want to do. You're actually putting a negative curve on me. There should be a pulse thing somewhere that you get. Maybe it's inside the scorpion. But it should be somewhere. Energy cell overcharge. Oh, here you can get another layer. Where is the pulse one? It should be like scorpion or something. Do I have to use the pulse gun? Okay, that's not it. Do I need a different one of these? Because the door I need to go to is right over there. Maybe we'll try this staircase. That's all ammo. It's all good stuff. More good stuff. A wrench, can't use that. Talks about it. You have found a recalibration file for the sonic emitter. Take it to the box in the sink to recalibrate the sonic emitter for new effects. Okay, that should have been right there. Ugh, I didn't mean to take that leather armor. You can have that back. Don't want it. Binoculars. And here we meet Dr. MOBIUS.
Yo, hello there. You are there.
He's seen better
aren't you?
days.
Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Is that better? Surrender, Mobius. I don't want to fight you. I defeated your giant robo-scorpion. You're next. Enough. I'm here to kill you. Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you.
I guess even a brain
getting the
can't
visual
delay it
nerves
forever.
reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
I'll save it for later.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-erific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
You weren't exactly what I was expecting. Surrender. Okay, yeah. You're not exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical MOBIUS is better than I.
I need my brain back. Why did you steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of raisins. You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way.
Words.
You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Okay, yeah, exactly. I want my brain so I could leave. Why is that a problem? I need my brain back. I'm curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
Okay, repair 75. I can't fix your monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I can fix that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that.
Let's see if anything on his body changes.
Good. Better? Oh, yes. That feels wonderful.
I don't see
This is even
anything.
better than
I was thinking it was this
afternoon
thing.
mentats break.
Okay, can you tell me about your robo-scorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard.
Mustard is pretty good.
I miss sugars and salts.
Okay, I was curious about some things.
I find things curious as well. Go on.
You don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast threats to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
Okay, wait, sounds like you built the Robo-Scorpion. Let me redo that. Wait, sounds like you built the Robo-Scorpions, issued the threats to keep the think tank occupied.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, conscience? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the raisins better than I do.
Everything you told me doesn't add up. Your plan, even your name, MOBIUS. Sounds like you forgot your master plan. Surprised you remember your own name. Curious about some things.
Yes, this is getting interesting. You are just filled with these little slices of curiosity, aren't you?
Well, okay, it's basically just the same options.
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one.
He's Moby.
This name's as real as you or I.
was going to say he was Morbing, but...
Although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me.
Well, there's no one else here.
I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
Signs of 50, you reprogrammed their names as a part of a recursion loop? What, to trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
Okay, why did you trap him? A recursion loop is designed to prevent the flow of information, so all this insanity is because of you.
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here, or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
Okay, intelligence is 7, Klein, Mobius, O's a circle, 8's an infinity symbol, they're all loops. I get it.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein,
Ouroboros.
They have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too far thing.
The world's kind of destroyed.
That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quiet professional.
Quiet professional? That's kind of an a-hole thing to do to your friend. Intelligence 7. Minor detail, but a snake devouring its own tail. It's Ouroboros, not Ouroboros. If you lobotomize the think tank, why terrorize them?
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
Oh, yes. Why terrorize them? Don't understand why you send the threats.
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
There must have been some other signs of a larger world. There were other visitors, though. Why am I different? Are you blaming me for this? Yeah, why am I different?
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micro-magnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
Okay, can't do this one. My perception isn't high enough. Medicine is 65. A cranial injury from an attack outside Good Springs. Guns is 75. The only wrinkle is the one that bullet made going into my brain pan.
Yes, very good. I should have mentats in just you instead of the other way around. Mentats?
I think you need to lay off the mentats.
In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal.
I got lucky.
And yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the auto dock in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem. And the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
So, if I don't get my brain back in my head, I can't leave ever. So you sent your threats on a loop to keep them occupied. Do you know anything about the other visitors? Intelligence 7, Klein said they had an idea to get 3 technologies out to your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth.
My mistake.
My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
What is the purpose of the technologies? Was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast? But the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Yeah, was there any other data?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know.
Quiet.
It's because you're, well, rather intriguing,
thanks,
if you'll
man.
forgive an old brain for saying so.
Okay, what is their purpose?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer.
Whatever that means.
In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
Okay, do that. Why'd you steal my brain? Why is that a problem?
I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. I have very good reasons for almost everything I do. Even if I forget them occasionally. Although I feel this one is especially important.
And you forgot it, huh?
Oh, well.
Okay, but I want to leave.
Now, that seems to be rather hormonal of you. Flight or fight response, you know. Hard to cut that out completely. Your brain is here, safe with me. We chat over
Please don't get it
mentats.
addicted. I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
Okay, time for me to go.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Oh, Dr. Mobius's glove.
I'm imagining all sorts of imaginary numbers right now.
Dr. Mobius's glove. That was for later. The brain tank. And inside is our brain.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
So if you don't know, this whole scenario here can be affected on your intelligence level. So I have an intelligence of 10, so my brain is really smart. But if you have like an intelligence of 1, your brain's gonna be pretty not smart.
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
I like cookies. Why are you such a D-bag? There is no need to be sarcastic, and your brain is a slightly odd event. Listen, you're my brain, so you better be more respectful. How the heck did Mobius get a hold of my brain? Never mind, I want to ask about something else.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you?
Yes, been running around a crater full of bizarre science experiments. Hygiene is a top priority. I've been busy. What about you? This tank isn't exactly springtime looking What the heck? Did I just have a seizure? What about you? This tank isn't exactly looking springtime fresh.
Well, I see sarcasm hasn't eluded you. Fine, perhaps now isn't the best time, but it's the principle of the thing.
Okay,
Of course you do. How scintillating.
Scintillating. Yeah, how did he get a hold of you?
After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome.
Of course. And how did he manage that?
I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank. I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though.
That seems like a pretty unlikely coincidence.
Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it.
Well, that answers that. On to something else.
Well, as long as your curiosity is satisfied.
I guess be more respectful?
Oh, had I? What exactly will you do if I don't? Not put me back in that cranial dungeon you call your head? Heavens forbid.
Dungeon? Why do they spell dungeon that way? I can smash this tank that you're in. How about that? Once you're back in my head, I'll watch television, lots and lots of television.
By all means, if the idea of spending the rest of your days as a true lobotomite appeals to you. Actually, come to think of it, you probably wouldn't mind that, would you?
Why does it keep giving me... I guess, why is that
Well,
way?
that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave?
Yeah, you.
Do you think
The brain is,
enjoy
you know, the
that little
processor of the
moment?
body. It was him, obviously. Of course you're responsible. You're my brain. Come on, that stuff's fun. I didn't realize it caused you so much distress.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when you help someone, do you know where those come from?
Brain.
Glands. They come from glands. Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
Uh-huh. Medicine 55, but you're the source of most of those glands, unless you're arguing that my thyroid is to blame.
Well, look, it's all a very complex
Heh,
system of
I got him.
biofeedback and other things I wouldn't
Get
expect
wrecked.
you to understand.
Hey, minute, you're just as glandular as I am. Fun stuff, so much distress, revisit.
Oh, all right. Perhaps I am, but at least I'm logical about it.
Uh-huh. Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back in my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
But what about the good things? What about a cool breeze on your cheek? The smell of food? Love? I can see your point. What can I do to make this a fair compromise? Too bad I've got arms. You don't. You're coming with me.
If you want me back, we need to establish some ground rules. First, showers! Second, regular checkups. Regular, mind you, and from a reputable doctor. That Julie Farkas woman, for example, she seems to know a thing or two. Third, you need to listen to me more than your hormonal choir and genitalian orchestra. Promise me that, and you've got
Is
to
this because I did the Bleed Me Dry quest? Fine, you got a deal, so what? You rather just stay here, never leaving that tank of whatever that stuff is? Well, if you like being stuck in there so much, maybe I'll just leave you.
Really? I didn't expect you to actually agree to that. I'm afraid that was a bit of a bluff, really. I'm not going with you.
Okay, so what, you rather just stay here then?
Well, certainly there might be some things I miss about being ambulatory. We have seen some incredible sights, haven't we?
Yep.
Jason Bright and his followers launching into the vast unknown. But still, given the tremendous, potentially life-ending peril that went along with those, yes, I'd rather stay here.
Okay, Speech 75. Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
So we're at an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed, quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
I think we just have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated. Well, maybe we keep going like this. What do you think?
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
Oh yes, indubitably. So what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures? Maybe I have been a little unfair. If you want to stay here, I'll let you.
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Why, they promised to put us back together once they did what they wanted. Then let's go make them share. Come on, brain. It's stomping time.
And you believe them? Really?
Well, not really.
I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
What's so bad about letting the brains get out? They don't seem that terrible. Speech of 75, you're part of me. I know you don't want that. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day.
Yeah, be the hero.
All right, what's the plan?
If the think tank won't hold up the bargain, we'll make them. Let's go. I'll handle the brains. You stay here. You'll be more useful outside my head.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited,
Achievement
you want
unlocked.
to
Make
fill
up your mind.
torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better.
Same,
But now
me too.
that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in, no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I should have all these to 100 by the time I'm level 50. I want to see his... Oh, or is this supposed to be it? All his writing on the floor? Ugh, this is gonna be a long walk. Even though it's literally right there. Cool scorpion though. Okay, I see 2 quest markers. Retrieve the Sync's autodock personality holotape from Y17 to restore the autodock's functionality. That is luckily a... other mission. Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. I am.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain, and now you and I are going to settle things. I think you're past due for your lobotomy, Dr. Klein. You may have noticed that the pacification field is down. Guess what happens now?
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss. I think you're past due. Blah, blah, blah.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
Speech of 75. Lie. You think I am the lobotomite? No. For my skull houses the brain of Dr. Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Science 100. Nothing is impossible for science. Mesons, lasers, atom, brainwaves are all are at my command. Medicine 85. Countless brain extraction surgeries exist, but only one implantation one from Mobius.
You speak the truth, and the decibel variation in your voice, it is Mobius.
It is I, Dr.
How dare you
Mobius.
breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
I offer a deal. Stay here, stay put, and I'll let you live. Basically saying, deal, here, put, basically stay.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
I will permit you to do this for me.
Partner with you? My foe? My rival? My foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
Okay, I gotta admit my impersonation of Dr. Mobius was a little lacking there.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
Although, truth be told, the courier had barely explored the crater in an attempt to rush through and be done with the whole thing.
Sorry.
Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink was strangely silent, which it had never been in previous years. The lack of personality modules made the base lifeless and sterile.
As the courier made his way through the X8 facility, the computers analyzed the test subjects' movements. They eventually created new cyberdogs to root out commie traitors from the wasteland. Traitors like Betsy Bright, Richie Marcus. Although they couldn't seem to find any commies, so they turned on themselves, howling sonic barks that echoed miles across the landscape.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Alright, I've lost the brainless perk and achievement unlocked, outsmarted. Okay, I got the big brained perk. Big brained perk. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled, but you're only 10% more resistant to chems now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10%. Okay, you've acquired the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder. It's capable of transporting you and you alone between the Mojave Wasteland and Big Mountain. To return to the Mojave or go back to the Big Mountain from the Mojave, simply equip the Transportal Ponder as you would have any weapon, pull the trigger, and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or in combat situations and is totally incapable of harming your enemies.
Huzzah, sir! Huzzah! Huzzah, sir!
Oh, the sink's
Sir,
doing that.
looking exceptionally sharp. Might I be safe in the assumption?
So you got anything new?
Today,
Alright.
sir will permit the compliment.
I guess that calls it for the main story. Next episode, we're going to be doing some more things. Oh, hold on. This is the Transportal Ponder. Looks cool, but as I was saying, finish the main quest. Next episode, we'll be finishing by collecting the last, well, I should say I shouldn't say last, all the rest of the unique items. The last quest, getting all the personality for it. All this, what the heck was I saying? Getting all the personalities for all the stuff here. Like the sink. Yeah, getting the last few, oh my god, why am I doing this so wrong? Getting the last few unique weapons. The last quests, personalities. Oh, here's my spine, here's my heart. But yeah, guys. Let me get back over here. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe, as it will help out my channel, and I really will appreciate it. But alright, guys, this is Mithril. And I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you in the future.